when you're in a position of scarcity, you're tense. So love expression is non-existent. When you're not in a position of scarcity, you relax. So love expression is possible. And the natural expression of love is give, because you can. You can only give something if you own it. That means if you have some. So look at the world around us. People are stingy. They don't give. And when they give, they're not really giving. They're pretending to give. Because they don't own anything. They don't have anything really. I'm telling you, it's an illusion. Those NGOs, it's all a front. They're there to manipulate people and screw people over and take more. So, when as an individual you connect to something genuine, you relax. So, love expression is possible and you just want to give. Why not? You can afford. And people need it. And then you realize that you want to give it to people who are looking for it. Not people who you don't give pearls to swines, meaning people don't care for this. You don't go give it to them, right? If a person wants Coca-Cola, why am I going to give you water? No, you need water. Like, no, I want Coke. I don't know who you are, but I have water, and if there's a person who wants water, you kindly give that person water. Why not? I can. That's called service. And if I don't have water myself and I know a person who's got water, I'm going to say, well, would you like me to package it for you while I cultivate my own water well? Would you like me to deliver it for you? Can I be part of this distribution chain while I'm cultivating my own inner well? Right? Because just being in the business of water soothes me, inspires me, nourishes me, appeases me, teaches me the ways of water. So anyways, there's a little nuance. Many people may not understand this, or some of you may. There's a people confuse giving. If I have infinite resource, when I give, I don't really give, do I? It just pours out. Because there's these nuances, because in life there's a thing called positive and negative, positive karma, negative karma. It's a good action. Good action generates a response. It's a form of magic. I'm playing nature, using nature's ways. If I generate a positive action, a so-called positive action should come back to me. If I do a so-called negative action, a so-called negative action will come back to me. So if I can just do a lot of positive actions, like fake smiles, that's a positive action. So you walk in the street and you do fake smiles and people are kind of feeling obliged to fake smile back at you, right? And once in a while you can trick a person who's dumb enough to actually think you're smiling and they'll actually give you a real smile because you conned them. It's called positive energy, positive karma. That's not giving. That's a form of energy movement, just like negative energy movement. Now, the worshippers of positive energy will say that that's supreme because they think this is the truth. And the worshipper of so-called negative energy or dark energy will say, no, this is supreme because it's honest. I steal. I don't pretend to give. Right? It doesn't matter. I'm not interested in this or that. Because it's still coming from scarcity. I'm speaking of a place where you're receiving so much because you're in a current that you must give if you want to continue to receive. You're not doing it to have positive karma or positive impact. You don't even think of that. There's no mindset that says we must help the people. You just do it because you can, because it's your duty. And there isn't anything for yourself to get by doing it besides that you can stay in the current. Because a person who's doing good action is doing it for himself, to feel good about himself, to prove to others that he's a good person, to prove to himself that he's a good person, right? So it's for him. So it's not to say it's bad. I'm just saying it's selfishly centered. That means they need to nourish themselves. Yeah, but if you were full, would you need to do that? You wouldn't. If you were a good person, whatever good person means, would you need to do something good to make yourself feel good? To prove to yourself that you're good? To justify that your greed, right? No. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a place where when you're connected to a source of power, then you become a servant of that power. It's not you, it's the power, and the power uses you to give to others who are thirsty. I don't care. I'm just in service. My pleasure is to be in that power, which fills me, fulfills me, nurtures me, guides me, protects me, teaches me, educates me, sustains me, supports me, etc., etc. And if that's power requires it gives. I'm the medium. But whatever I is the medium. I don't care. That's being rich. But when you understand that, you're like, well, it's not me who's rich. It's the power I'm serving that's rich. And it's not me who's giving. It's that power that's giving. And I get the pleasure and the benefit of being in service to that. And that power wants to fulfill these needs. So great. But I don't have an emotional connection to them. Emotional is the key word. Listen, let's be honest. When you zoom out and you look at things and you have a greater macro understanding, you don't, when you're understanding or understanding or overstanding, when you're, I don't want to say the consciousness word, but it is, when your consciousness is like a little smaller, you see, oh, poor person, they're being abused, or poor this is happening to them, or poor people in France, oh, such bad things, let's put the France flag on. And, oh, right? You respond to emotions all the time. And your response is you're biased, based on what's true for you or your experiences and what you want to see, then you decide to take a side or another. When you have a little more understanding of things and you go a little deeper, you start to understand, wait a minute, that's not really what's going on. Forget understanding a deeper narrative. Just, well, you're not really bad and you're not really good and you're not really good and you're really not really bad. It's just a game of energy. It's called karma. And there's a reason why those energies are dancing together, and that's how they're compensating to find some kind of temporary balance. So there's not good or bad. It's just a dance of energy that creates a storyline at the surface that people attribute an emotion to depending on what they identify with, right? So when you go a little deeper, you don't care for this. So an emotion is it's an uninteresting thing for you at that stage. Because it's a lie, it's an illusion. It's a chemical compound created by your brain in a state of mind in your head due to an incomplete understanding of reality. Do you see what I mean? So you don't do things for an emotion. I'm in service. And that power has a certain intelligence and has its quote-unquote agenda, dare I say, and I'm in service. And it goes towards where there's a need. So like I was saying the previous video, when you feel quote-unquote the thirst, immediately the water bearer is there. So the water bearer is that living water, and it uses its agents, and the suffering, the dis-ease, the thirst calls the water. I'm not the water, or forget me. Any person is not the water. The water is that power, it's that current. And it uses agents to bring the water. What do I have to... First of all, maybe I would have wanted to give the water to the cute girl over there. Yeah, that's me. No, but the water, the current, the power current, knows who's calling for it. There's no emotion when they're calling for that water. They don't have an emotion. If they have an emotion, they're not really feeling the thirst. The thirst has no emotion. right? When I'm drinking, when I'm thirsty, do you have an emotion? No, it's instinctual. I'm thirsty, I drink. I don't have an emotion. Right? So that level of abundance or that level of power is beyond so-called plus and so-called minus, which is in the world of duality, of so-called good and so-called bad, and the world of emotionality and certain states of mind, and I'm doing an action that is so-called good or an action that is so-called bad, which is always coming from a place of scarcity. That's the secret that people have a hard time to see. No, your so-called good action is a state of mind. I can dislodge it and you'll see that you'll have the opposite state of mind in a minute. And it's coming from a need to do something to generate a form of energy and generate a certain kind of experience to fill yourself. Now, I have nothing against that. I'm just saying, well, does it work? Listen, if it works for you, it works for you. It doesn't work for me. It's too small. Right? And you have to go out of your way to pretend that you're nice. Well, I don't want to pretend I'm nice. I don't want to spend my time pretending I'm nice so I can have a so-called positive feeling, and then I can create songs that generate positive feelings. It's witchcraft. It's nothing more than that. At the end of the day, it's using the mind technologies to create certain feelings and create certain effects. I'm not saying it's bad. When I say witchcraft, it doesn't mean it's bad. And I don't see white witchcraft or black witchcraft as either good or bad. It's just strategies to get energy. So the point is, if it works for you, great. If this doesn't work for you, so you're looking for a source of power that is beyond plus or minus, and beyond that is actually able to satiate you. And that's what I call the way of life, and that's, in my humble opinion, the solution. If you're suffering, well, if once you take the time to assess your suffering with intelligence and you look at things with a clear mind and discernment, well, you'll understand the things I'm saying. It's not complicated. Everybody's done a so-called good action and you get a good feeling out of it. So imagine if you could do that 1,000,000 times. Wouldn't you get, it's like getting 1,000,000 loves on your Twitter. You'll get a feeling. Even I get a feeling with my bogus account. And sometimes I make a comment. Rarely I do. And if I got a little feeling. Oh, I got a little feeling. Imagine if I could do that 1,000,000 times. So imagine I can do a good action 1,000,000 times. Imagine if I can do it like at an international level. Right? Well, I'm a very good person now, aren't I? Like I said, I don't give a fuck what you do. It's not my problem. What I care about is what I'm looking for is a form of peace, and doing this doesn't work for me, and doing this doesn't work for me. And at the end of the day, everybody's looking for the same thing. They stop where they feel, well, this works for me. Great, enjoy. It doesn't work for me, so I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go further, or I'm going to go deeper, because my thirst is like, well, that's orange juice. It's not working for me. But orange juice is great. No. Well, it may be great for you, but it burns my stomach, creates acidity, and makes me more thirsty, in fact. So, but orange juice is amazing. Yeah. Once in a while, I agree. I have nothing against orange juice, but when you're thirsty, you don't want to drink orange juice, do you?